Hey folks, welcome back. So today we're going over model view. And the reason I want to go over model view is because when Power BI auto loads our data and creates relationships between our dimensions, it really creates a lot of connections that shouldn't be connections, or it makes the entire layout very busy. So we don't want to do that. What we want to do is show you a three-step process on how we can have a clean model view and then utilize that model view every single time the data refreshes. So as an example, we have a few dimensions that are here within our dashboard that we loaded, and we have all these different dimensions that are laid out. It's scattered everywhere. We have some that are layered, some that are sitting on top of another. We have dimensions that probably shouldn't be dimensions. We have a weird structure that's kind of going on here, right? That kind of looks like a snowflake schema, and it really is, but it's hard to really tell what my fact tables are and what my dimensions are. So the first step we're going to take is we're going to click on transform data. But before I go deeper, what I really want to tell you is it does not matter how you load your data. It could be in Teams, it could be a folder within your OneDrive, it could be on your desktop, through a SQL server, does not matter. This step that I'm going to show you is going to be universal throughout any single data load. So on the left-hand side, we have tables that are italicized and some that are not italicized. Now by default, they're going to be loaded into the model view. The ones that are italicized are going to be not loaded within enable load or within the model view. So you can see there's no check mark next to enable load, whereas this one has a check mark. Well, you might be thinking, hey, that's super simple, right? If you deselect it, it's not going to load into the model view. Well, it's really that simple, folks. So all we're going to do here is I'm just going to show you an example. For the AGCM table, I'm going to simply click on Enable Load so that it no longer has a check mark, and we're just going to see what happens. Now, this is a warning message that you get when you deselect Enable Load before you hit continue. Now, what I want to advise to all of you is that you should load your tables of data one at a time. Think about the primary tables that you want to work on, build those visuals, and then load tables as you go so that it makes a clean model view and it's easier to kind of organize tables as you're moving along. And I'll show you what a final end product really looks like, or close to one, just so you can see what I'm talking about. But for now, we're going to click on continue, then close and apply. And now you can see where the Army of Good Conduct Medal dimension table was no longer exists. So what I would do is I would once again remove all these different tables that you have and just load them one at a time. Make sure all of those tables are italicized. So deselect them all, load your center point for your snowflake schema, star schema, whichever type you're building, and then load supporting dimension tables one at a time, and then build those visuals just to make a clean model view. Now, first and foremost, before you do anything else, what you want to do is go to File, Options, Options again. And once we're here, we're going to click on Data Load. And then we want to make sure all our relationship boxes are deselected. And what this does is no longer going to auto sync and auto create relationships when Power BI sees new connections coming in, so new tables of data that you might be adding, or when the data refreshes, it's no longer going to create a connection on its own. So it's going to retain what you did manually. Now, as promised, this is what a close to final project really looks like when it comes to the model view. So on the left-hand side, I just have my measure tables that host all my measures that are organized in a clean manner, and they don't need to be connected to my dimension tables here. And then as part of my snowflake schema, I have my MTO that feeds my UIC table, which also then feeds my readiness roster. And then my UIC table and readiness roster all feed my papers mismatch and absence analytics. Now, as I build more dashboards, I'll load my dimension tables one at a time just so that it's cleaner and I can just start stacking my dimensions as I go. So yes, it doesn't look like a snowflake in full. It doesn't look like a star as well. This is more like a tower or a building kind of concept, but it still fits the bill when it comes to a snowflake schema. But this is not the way, this is a way to really load your data in a clean, concise manner so that your model view, your relationships look clean and it's very easy to digest and understand at the builder level. And then also when you pass your product off to somebody else as well. And then lastly, it just makes it a little bit easier when you're conducting maintenance on the product as well. With that said, that's all I have for today, folks. Thanks for watching.